So we just finished up Minotaur, and we're going to move on to Mycelial. I'm gonna say that slowly. Mycelial. I think that's how it's pronounced. And these guys are the newest race. They are the most newest playable race because they were released pre-COVID, like just before COVID was a thing. So Mycelials are cool. And they were super awesome. And somebody was like playing, like somebody played one. They made it up as an NPC, and the NPC became so liked, I think, that they were like they really fleshed out the race for NPC racing. And then they were like, why don't we just make this a PC race? And I don't know if there are people who are playing Mycelio, but I've met a couple PC Mycelials, and they're super cool. So you get to pick which of the caps you want to use. Basically, you're a mushroom person. You're a freaking mushroom person, man, and it's so cool. I have not read this, and I have not played with them, so I could not tell you the story or history or the culture of mycelials. Dapper caps are red, twiglets are green, so I guess there's a difference between dapper cap and twiglet. Maybe it's an elder thing. I don't know. Uh, But yeah, this paint is okay. Gray paint is not hard to wash off after an event, and having gray and dark gray on you is okay. And it's mostly the hat. It's really the hat that brings it together. There was a specific, I'm pretty sure it was because there was a specific hat in Monster Hit Camp that people were like, I want to wear this hat, but we don't have a monster to go with this. And then they made Mycelials. And it's such a beautiful thing for something like that to happen. And Mycelials are cool because, like dwarves, dwarves are a crafter race. I'm pretty sure Mycelials are a crafter race, from what I understand. Yeah, they get reduced craftsmen. Cannot wear armor. Okay, I don't know if they get. Let's look. No, so they don't have any sort of inherent graining armor. So you're really kind of raw dog in armor here. So this might be a little bit bigger of a detriment for these guys than a lot of the other races that can have like you'll get cannot wear armor, but then you'll get a functional version of armor some other way in your race. These guys don't get to wear armor, period, and that's kind of a big downside actually. So when you're thinking of Mycelial, you got to understand that you're really, except for magical armor, you're not getting a whole lot of extra armor. So you're spending resources as opposed to having a free set of armor that you can refresh after 60 minutes. So you're spending magic to get armor, essentially. Claws. We talked about claws. They're okay. Reduced craftsmanship. Again, only dwarves had this, I think. And so they're specifically a craftsman race. Resist psionic. I think we saw that on maybe folk or maybe it was elves. But having these racially is pretty sweet. This doesn't let you defend against racials for other people, so this is not psionic shield, which I think is what folk get. This only allows you to defend for yourself. Still, that's pretty okay. I would say maybe three of these. Three of these probably. I imagine there's something further on with the elders to do with this, but like three of these would be okay. You're not getting hit by like 20 psionic attacks in a game unless it's specifically like there's a big psionic threat that's happening. Healed by chaos. Okay. So in the spells in spirits, there are a two sides of the same coin kind of spells. There are inflict wounds and heal wounds or cure wounds, right? Cure wounds is a typical fantasy adventure spell, right? So there's cure wounds and then there's cause wounds. And there's four different ranks of them. So it's like one is like 5, then one's 25, then one's 50, then one's 100 or something. And then they're on the chaos side of the sphere, there's dealing damage with it, which is the cause wounds in this game. And so you are instead healed by cause wounds. This also makes you immune to. Oh, this also says immune to chaos. Oh, that's sick! And then this is an ability in addition to any healing your metabolism provides. So you have a normal metabolism, as far as I'm aware, unless something else is going to happen. Oh, okay, yeah, harmed by nature. That's the trade-off. It's a detriment. Okay, so yeah, that's why I was like, this specific ability doesn't stop you from being healed from the other, from the nature side of it, right? So, but this detriment causes that to happen. Um, so if you are dead, grant life. That's an important thing to know. Grant life functions as normal for you. So you still need grant life. There's not like a so you don't get grant death is what actually brings me up. Grant life brings you up like normal, and you probably does this make you immune to? I don't know. I'm pretty sure this doesn't make you immune to grant death or to inflict death. Sorry, inflict death is they changed it, but inflict death. This doesn't make you immune to inflict death. Breathing earth. That's a pretty good when you're in a big cave and you're like on the earth plane or something. Harmed by nature. This is tough because a lot of the time when somebody falls down, like they're bleeding out or something, the first reaction for a lot of people is to cast the cure stuff on them, and that essentially is going to do nothing for them. There's a lot of times when somebody falls down and they're in the heat of battle, and you're not thinking, oh, this person's a mycelial, I should be using this spell. People don't go that far. They go, oh, guy down, let me cast healing spell on him, and they'll go like cure wounds. The problem is that you cure wounds hurts you more. You can't go past -1, so you're not like taking extra damage or anything, but you take it, and typically what happens in those with other races is that they become immune to spells when they're on the ground, or they're immune to spells in general, or something like that, or they have dumb defenses that go off, and they say no effect, and they go, oh, that person just no affected my healing spell. What are they again? And that's like kind of what gets the clock ticking in the back of somebody's brain about like, oh, I need to use this specific thing to heal my buddy. Um, the problem is that you're not immune to this cure wound spell. You still take it, so you just say nothing when they hit cure wounds on you, but you're still on the ground. That's the problem. So there's not like there's no out of game or mechanical communication from this that's going to say this didn't work. They're going to cast a spell on you. You're going to say got it, like I take the spell. And they're going to be like, why the fuck is this guy not standing up? Cuz he should be alive right now. And you are going to be dead, so you're not going to be able to communicate with them about it, or you're going to be bleeding out or something. And I guarantee you that's going to come up. I almost guarantee you it's going to come up. It's come up with my race that I play regularly, and we'll get into that. And it comes up with some Elder Folk stuff, because I'm pretty sure Elder Folk used to be immune to spells when they died. It was weird. Endure Earth as well. Endure Earth, breathe Earth, so I guess they care about being in the Earth. They live underground, I can tell you that much. They live underground, yeah, the Labyrinthian cave. I'm not gonna say it. I'm not gonna try. They live in labyrinths underground and in the underworld, and they live in caves and stuff. They're from being up in the regular world. The above world is not a regular thing for them. So they live in caves, so hence they get to uh endure earth and breathe earth. So we'll go into the elders. So ghouls have devour living, and apparently, I'll have to tell Gabe about this, but apparently mycelials also have devour living. So this is super good. This is when you would go to resurrect, like your character really died. You instead pop back up at 1 health and you say Devour Living. And your Devour Living is gone. Um, and then all that requires is eating. So if you want to see a really in-depth explanation of this skill, you should go look at the Ghoul interview with my brother who plays a Ghoul and has this skill. And he talks about how good it is, because this is a really good skill, especially for 5 build. Immunity to disease, unaffected by psionics. Pretty good. This is pretty good. Unaffected by psionics is really strong. Just being like, yep. There's definitely times where a event is psionically, like the bad guys are all using psionics, and this will make you rock that day. It's super cool. And it's only 1 build. Again, you have to buy 3 resist psionics, but that's really not a downside when you're talking about being immune to something. No effect. You are not scared of these guys, and these guys are really scary, so that's cool. We'll get into that's the last race, and it's honestly one of the most interesting races, so we'll get into that. underground concealment. So we talked about water concealment with lizardmen recently. Underground concealment. This is probably also really good. There's a lot of adventures that happen in caves, and I'm pretty sure if you're in a cave, you can call underground concealment because you're underground. So just it's up there with woodland concealment as being one of the best concealment effects that you can get in the game. For 3 build, being able to be invisible whenever you feel like it when you're in a cave, such as in a cave, is amazing. Super cool. Noise can still be heard. That's a specific thing about concealment. Because it's like leaving footprints in dust when you're turning invisible. This is like they can hear your footprints and stuff, or they can hear your feet stepping, and you can still yell and stuff. Um, but yeah, pretty good skill. Fungal tenacity. What is this? If while the character is dead and is struck by an animate or vengeance spell, this ability is used as double defense and the individual rises as one body. Okay, so how like flesh golems have a lightning spell that will get them back up. These guys have animate or vengeance. Super interesting. I personally don't know the specifics of animate and vengeance, so I don't know if they cost a whole lot. Um, but yes, they have a way. So this goes back to the harmed by nature, healed by chaos thing. You have a normal metabolism, but you have weird things that interact with your metabolism. And this goes back to that. Poisonous mushroom. Once privileged to absorb. Yeah, you get to absorb poison and then throw poison back. So if a lizard man throws a 50 death poison spittle at you, you get to say absorb. And then you can later, at any point in the adventure, at any point in the 24 hours, so you don't have to use it like that same combat, you get to throw 50 death poison. They use this specific example. Uh, so and then stored poisons fade at logistics, so you don't get to carry them over between events, which is okay. I mean, it's fair enough. Um, but like maybe you should be friends with the lizard man and get the lizard man to like this is a little devious, but maybe you and your friend walk in as a lizard man and a mushroom person, and that guy like throws half his poisons at you, so you both get to throw like 50 death poisons the whole game. That'd be sick. That'd be really cool. Um, yeah. So mushrooms, these guys are cool and they're crafters. I think a lot of them do alchemy stuff. I think the ones that I've seen do alchemy stuff. I couldn't tell you how common these guys are because I haven't been playing for 4 years. So for because of COVID, and I'm super excited to see these guys in game. The hat is cool, and I'm pretty sure the hat there's a generic mushroom hats on Amazon or Facebook Marketplace or some generic crafty thrift shop. I'm sure you could find examples of these. But Monster Camp has like a 3 or 4 of these. So if you really need to borrow one, they might let you pay money. You can rent stuff. So they might let you pay money to rent these, and it wouldn't be too expensive. I'm sure it would be like $5 or something for the event. So don't let not having this hat stop you from playing this race. These guys are sweet. Uh, all right, that was Mycelials, mushroom people. Heck yeah.